The next topic that we have to cover of work, power and energy unit, that is collisions. This is the last topic of this unit. What's the meaning of a collision? It means the interaction of two or more body when they are in motion. Suppose when two balls are moving towards each other, at last they strike with each other and this will lead to a collision, which will further change their relative position and as well as their velocities. So collisions are mainly of two types. One is elastic collision, other is inelastic collision. The first collision is elastic collision. Second one is inelastic collision. First, elastic collision. Elastic collision is that collision in which there is no loss of kinetic energy. There is no loss of kinetic energy, but in inelastic collision there is loss of kinetic energy. In elastic collision, total linear momentum remain conserved, Secondly, total energy also remain conserved. Then the kinetic energy is also conserved. But in inelastic collision, total momentum is conserved. Total momentum remain conserved. Total energy also remain conserved, but kinetic energy do not remain conserved. It may get lost in the form of heat, light, sound and other form of energy. It's not conserved. In elastic collision, there is a force which might be conservative in nature. In elastic collision, conservative force is there, but for inelastic collision, it will lead to non-conservative forces. So these are the two types of collision, elastic and inelastic collision. Linear momentum is conserved in both cases, total energy is conserved in both cases, but here kinetic energy is conserved, but here kinetic energy is not conserved. So these are the cases of the elastic and inelastic collision. So in elastic collision there is conservative forces, in inelastic collision there are non-conservative forces. Next is coefficient of restitution. Suppose we have two bodies, a ball, let's have two balls, ball A and B. Before collision, these balls are moving in same direction but with velocity u1 and u2 respectively. At last they strike each other, and after collision they start moving with velocity v2 and v1 respectively. Let us say it's v. Now I have to define a quantity over here that is called coefficient of restitution. This is the before collision scenario and this is the after collision velocity scenario. Now what is coefficient of restitution? Coefficient of restitution, it is denoted by small e. Coefficient of restitution denoted by E. This is equals to relative velocity after collision, relative velocity of separation after collision divided by relative velocity of separation before collision. So coefficient of restitution is, after collision the relative velocity was v2 minus v1, but before it was u1 minus u2. So this is the coefficient of restitution, where u1 and u2 are the initial velocities, v1 and v2 are the final velocities. For elastic collision, velocity of separation is equals to, before and after is equal, so coefficient of restitution is 1. For inelastic collision, velocity of separation is not 0 always, it lies between 0 and 1. But for perfectly inelastic collision, it always 0, because after perfectly inelastic collision, two balls stick together. After perfectly inelastic collision, two balls get stick together. So E is equals to 0 over there. So for a coefficient of restitution, suppose a ball is dropped from a height and as it reaches the ground, it gets rebounded or rebound to some height h. In that case, to find the restitution, E is equals to under root of rebound height divided by dropped height. Otherwise, its formula is V2 minus V1 upon U1 minus U2. Now next we have to derive the expression of velocities of two balls after collision, where this collision that we have to consider, one is one-dimensional collision, other is 2D collision. So in 1D and 2D we have to find out the final velocities of the ball. We are going to derive the expression for that. Let's start with the first one, one-dimensional motion, 1D collision motion or 1D collision. In 1D collision, let's have velocity A and B, ball A and B. Before collision, they are moving with velocity u1 and u2 respectively. And after collision, they are moving with velocity v1 and v2. Let the mass of first ball is m1, other ball be m2. So, as we know, for elastic collision, we are considering the elastic collision in one dimension. Elastic collision in one dimension. What we have for the elastic collision in one dimension? First of all, we have total momentum is conserved. Total momentum is conserved or constant. Secondly, kinetic energy is also conserved. By using these two equations, we will find V1 and V2. In this derivation, we have to find the value of V1 and V2 and also study its different cases. Firstly, we are going to do 1D elastic collision. 1D elastic collision by using these two equations. So starting with total momentum conservation. So before collision, momentum was m1 u1 plus m2 u2, and after collision it is m1 v1 m2 v2. So this is law of conservation of linear momentum. This is equation number 1. Similarly, kinetic energy is also conserved, means before collision energy, total energy, this is u1 plus half m2 u2 square, it's equals to the after collision energy. If we take this half common from all, we will get the first equation. I'm again writing the first equation because we have to use it, equals to m1 v1 m2 v2 first equation. So by taking the 1 by 2 common, second equation will become m1 u1 square m2 u2 square m1 v1 square m2 v2 square. This is the second equation. Now what we will do, we will rearrange this equation like separating the u1 and u2 values. In first equation, m1 v1 minus u1 equals to m2, that is u2 minus v2, or we can also write m1 u1 minus v1 equals to m2 v2 minus u2, just exceeding the sign. Question number 3. Similarly, this can be arranged and can be written as m1 u1 square minus v1 square m2 v2 square minus u2 square. This is equation number 4. Dividing equation 3 and 4. Dividing 3 and 4, we will get m1 u1 v1 u1 plus v1. I am using just formula here, a square minus b square formula, that is a minus b, a plus b. I am just using formula over here, this formula, whole divided by m1 u1 minus v1 equals to m2 v2 minus u2 v2 plus u2 whole divided by m2 v2 minus u2. Now m1 get cancelled with this, m2 get cancelled with this and this factor, this whole get cancelled. We get u1 v1 u2 v2. We get this factor. If we just divide these two factors by like separating the terms, like if I write v2 minus v1 equals to u1 minus u2, and if I just divide these two terms, I will get this v2 minus v1 upon u1 minus u2 is equals to 1, that is coefficient of restitution. So it has proved that for elastic collision, coefficient of restitution is 1, but we have to find v1 and v2. So proceeding further, we get a equation over here that v2 is equals to u1 minus u2 plus v1. Substituting this value in the equation number 1, that was m1 v1 m2 v2 m1 u1 plus m2 u2. By substituting the value of v2 in this equation and solving it further, we will get v1 is equals to, by solving it further, we will get v1 in term of u1 and u2, that is m1 plus m2 bracket, this is minus u1 upon m1 plus m2 plus 2m2 u2 m1 plus m2. We get this. This is the value of v1. By substituting the value of v1 in this equation, we will get v2 is equals to 2 m1 u1 m1 plus m2 plus m2 minus m1 m1 plus m2 into u2. I am again writing the value of v1, that is m1 minus m2 u1 m1 plus m2 plus 2 m1 m2 u2 m1 plus m2. The very simple mean to learn this formula is m1 minus m2 u1 for v1. Single, other term is single. Here reverse is happening over here. So these are the two values that we get for the elastic collision in one dimension. There are a few special cases if both the masses have same, both the balls have same mass. In that case, v1 become equals to u2 and v2 will become equals to u1. They just interchange their velocities. Second case, if u2 other body is at rest, initially at rest, in that case v1 will get reduced to m1 minus m2 u1 m1 plus m2 and v2 will get changed into 2 m1 u1 upon m1 plus m2. And if we consider further cases here like m1 is equals to m2, m1 is greater than m2, then what's happened if we consider this both masses to be equal? In that case velocity is to be 0, v1 is to be 0 and v2 has some value. So these are the cases, special cases. The other we have, second is 2D elastic collision, means two-dimensional elastic collision. For two-dimensional elastic collision we have a little different diagram. That is, suppose this is body A, this is body B, m2, but this is at rest. Or say you can say it's moving with velocity u2. Say let's say it's moving velocity u2 m1. When this body come together and collide with each other, suppose after collision one move in this direction, one ball move in this direction, other move in this direction. So this motion is a 2D motion. Let this body be m1 moving with velocity v1 making an angle theta, other is moving with an angle phi 2 with the velocity of v2. This is m2. Now after collision we have the two component, one along the x-axis, other along the y-axis. So what we'll have in this video, we are not going to derive the velocity's value, we just is going to discuss the kinetic energy before and after collision. Kinetic energy before and after collision is conserved because it is a elastic collision. But here we have the x and the y component. X and y component not for the kinetic energy, for the momentum. Kinetic energy is simply that before collision and after collision kinetic energy is going to be same. But for the momentum we have the two component, because before collision one is u1, other is u2. They are moving along x-axis, but after collision they are moving along the they are making some angle with the x-axis. So we have two components over here. For the v1 we have first component, that is v1 cos theta, v1 sin theta. Similarly this is v2, we have two component, v2 cos phi, v2 sin phi. So that's why for the momentum we have two component. As along the x-axis what is the change in momentum, and as along the y-axis what is the change in momentum. As along the y-axis there is no change in the momentum, but along x-axis there is change. First of all, x-axis m1 u1 m2 u2. Along x-axis we have component m1 v1 cos theta, m2 v2 cos phi. This is change in momentum along x-axis. Along y-axis initially we have no component, so that is 0. But after collision we have one component upward direction, that is taken as positive. Other is in downward, एक ऊपर एक downward direction में, तो downward वाले को negative consider करते हैं, we get m2 v2 sin phi. So this is the momentum along y-axis. So for the 2D we have momentum along, change in momentum along x and the y-axis. According to that we can solve the equation. So with this unit is completed.